Let go. Fashion, killers, loaded, blenders, go, get us, never hit us. Home team great, home team straight. Double up, count it up, numbers elevate. Oh, that's just how we do it. How we do it? Get into it, that's just how we do it.
Nation Radio streaming worldwide from your favorite HBCU, Bowie State University. And we're sitting down with some very special guests. I have my co-host,
Sean Johnson, man.
and we got another special guest, two-time NBA champion, one-time NCAA champion, Quinn Cook. Bro, how you feeling?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to have you too. I wish I could have had you here in person, but we had the whole red carpet thing set up for you.
I heard, man.
It's so good. We still gonna get down to the nitty gritty. So with this show, first thing we do is the mental health check-in. Mental health on the scale of 1 to 10. We do the mental capacity on the scale of 1 to 10. 1 being bad, 10 being good. So we're gonna do that with mental capacity. We're gonna do that with business, and we're gonna do that with family. So as the guest, you can go ahead and start us off.
I'm at a 10. Football started today, so I'm at a 10.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What team you root for?
Tonight or in general?
In general.
I'm a Washington fan.
Oh, okay.
I'm a Washington fan, but I cheer. Like, I got a lot of guys who play in the league, so I cheer for them too.
Okay. So business as well on the scale of 1 to 10.
Business is like a 12, 13.
I like that.
And also family on a scale of 1 to 10.
Family is 20. My family's perfect.
Okay, perfect. Like to hear. What about you, co-host?
Oh man, I can't complain right now. My mental health, I'll say, is at a 9 right now. I'm here interviewing Quinn Cook. So yeah, can't be more excited. Business standpoint, I give it about 11. I'm on the healthy side. I'm still walking. I'm still out here. Family wise, my family doing good. We're still in the middle of a pandemic, so I have to go with a 20. Yeah. What about you, host?
Man, mental capacity at a 7. We getting in, we trying to get stuff done. Business, gonna give it about a 9. Make sure all my T's are crossed, dot my I's and stuff like that. And also family, always at a 10. They got my back, I got their back. And so let's go ahead and get into a little bit of the So let's talk about your early career. You're a native to DMV. When grow up in high school as well. Born in Hyattsville, Maryland. Boom, going from high school to North Carolina to play for Duke. Let's talk about why did you choose Duke?
I chose Duke just like it was a more than basketball decision. Just going through the process, just trying to see like what alumni had the strongest network and what players, were around the program more than others. And obviously all the schools that I had down, it was great, great coaches, great programs, great school. But I thought just me learning from Coach K every day for 4 years, me playing on national TV every game, me being a point guard at Duke, where everybody's biggest game. When Duke loses, it's the first thing they show on TV, Sports Center, and everything. So I just wanted the opportunity, especially to learn from Coach and potentially win a championship. And I thought I made a good decision.
So you wanted to bring it up? Go ahead, bring it up. So tell us what did you go to Duke for? What was your major?
I majored in theater.
Why theater? Why theater?
It kind of really happened on accident. Like, I wanted to do communications. Like, I wanted to be on TV after I played. But Duke doesn't have communications as a major. So, you don't decide to the end of your sophomore year. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I accidentally got into a theater class. One of my science classes got canceled for the semester. So I needed an extra class, and I got into intro to acting. And my professor was great. Then I got into an improv show not a show, an improv class the next semester, and I just fell in love with it, and it was just something I always wanted to do. I always wanted to be in movies and maybe direct or anything like that. So just wanted to do something different, and now it's paying off for me. I've been an EP on a big time documentary we did with Showtime last year. Me and my business partner Jimmy Jenkins, who's a PG County native. We have a lot of projects coming, so I'm happy I did that. I'm happy I went that route.
Good, good.
So would you say that theater kind of helped you move through the media?
Yeah, well, it definitely gave me different tactics I could use in media, what to look for, how to speak, what to learn. I took a public speaking class in high school for 2 years, so that really helped me. And another one when I was at Duke, but definitely just having that um, enthusiasm on camera, having that poise on camera, trying to see yourself behind the camera is another thing as well. So I like looking at different angles and different, movements in movies and stuff like that. And just little stuff that I like to learn and that I learned when I was in school.
Okay.
Okay, okay. So tell me here, Cook. So, you know, we seen a shift of high school athletes choosing HBCUs now over the Power Five machines. People like Deion Sanders, J.R. Smith actually returning to HBCU.
So
Tell,
what do you have any advice you want to give to a high school student when it goes into, you went to the D1 school, the powerhouses, the machines. And so what do you advise to give them when you want to pick between an HBCU or a powerhouse D1 school?
Yeah, I mean, I always, wanted to go to Howard growing up. My parents went to Howard. They met at Howard. So, Howard is in my blood. So, I grew up going to, Howard all the time growing up. So obviously, I always wanted just to be a student at Howard. But growing up, just being a basketball guy, seeing Duke, Carolina, Maryland, Georgetown, all those schools on campus. I mean, on TV, seeing your favorite players on TV and stuff like that. So it was a win-win for me. I actually had Howard on my Final Five. I was close with the coach at the time, Coach Nickelberry, and I actually took a visit up there. Me and Brad Bill, we were really close. We were still close, but we were extremely close in high school. And we always said, man, let's this was in 2010, 2009. We was like, man, let's go to Howard or something. Let's go, to an HBCU school. And so just to see the kids actually really doing it now, it's a shift in the culture. And it's a win-win, man. If you have opportunity to play at a Duke or a Power Five school, definitely a dream come true. And also if you go to an HBCU, I have a couple of my guys coach at Howard now, and there's still a lot of good players who come out of HBCU. So I think it's a win-win. It's just definitely about where you want to go, where you fit in, and where you think that you'll excel the most. And I think it's a win-win for these kids.
Okay, so let's talk about, since we are on a Bowie State campus, the HBCU, the oldest HBCU in Maryland, we do have a lot of incoming freshmen. It's the beginning of the new school year. Let's talk about that transition from you. And I think you wanted to speak on the transition between high school to college. So go ahead and ask your question.
yeah. So I know you went to like two different high schools.
Yeah.
All right. So, you come from a high school about with 3,000 students and you're transitioning to a big time Power Five like Duke. Like, how was that transition? Like, is the pressure on you?
Well, it was a little different transition for me. I mean, my first 3 years of high school going to DeMatha, it was an all-boys school. And then my senior year of high school, it was a boarding school in Oak Hill Academy in the middle of nowhere, Virginia. So we only had about like 80 kids in the school. So it was real strict. We didn't have phones, no TVs, nothing. So when I got to college, it was just like a totally different world for me. Just having freedom, having just girls around. Like I went to all boys school, so it was just different. But at the same time, I went there for basketball, so I wasn't really into the partying. I wasn't really into the fraternizing. I really literally lived in the gym. I was just like, man, I'm this close to making the NBA, making my dream come true. I'm gonna lock in. So and Duke is a smaller school. It's not really a state school. It's not a
About
Yeah,
15,000.
it's probably only like 8,000, maybe 8,000 students. So it wasn't like your 30, 40, 45,000 student school. So it was still relatively small, but it was definitely just different world coming from high school for me. And I was a McDonald's All-American, but I had three people in my class, who we came in together who were McDonald's All-Americans, and Duke, we had McDonald's All-Americans come in and out every year. So it wasn't really any added pressure. Just my time to really lock in and really go harder to make my dream come true.
Okay, so speaking about locking in, we have student athletes on campus as well. You was a student athlete as well. So how did you balance your time? You balance your social life, balance sports, and also balancing your work as well. So how
Yeah, I mean, the work always came first. I always kind of had that mentality. The work always came first. Didn't matter about anything. The work always came first. I always remembered, my purpose. I mean, I wasn't the best student, but I got a full ride to Duke, and that was because of basketball. So, basketball always came first. Duke was great keeping us on track with our books, and I wasn't the best student, so I lived in study hall. My academic advisor, Kenny King, me and him became best friends just because we spent so much time together. But man, I was an average student in high school, and I ended up being an academic All-American.
okay.
Or ACC, all academic AC, whatever it was at Duke. So I would have never imagined that. But I mean, like you said, it comes from work. If you can work on your jump shot all day, you can become a better shooter. You can become a better defender, passer, whatever. You can become a better student. You just got to put the work in. So I finally put some work in the classroom when I got to Duke, and it paid off for me. So I put in a lot of work on and off the court, and definitely paid off for me. I got to graduate, and I got to win the championship.
Okay, so before we start talking about your career, is anything you want to give to the not only the student athletes here at Bowie State, but also just regular students as well? Any advice that you might have picked around the way, something that you want to let the people know?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like I wish I would have had more fun in college. I think college is the best 4 years of your life. To where you don't really have bills yet in college. It's really 4 years to selfishly, figure out what you want to do. So me, man, I wish I had more fun. I wish I went out more. I wish I socialized more. But at the same time, you know, I worked. I took that time, and the one thing I did was network with people. I made relationships that I had forever. And you can do that in college. You'll meet your best friends in life in college. So you'll meet people from all over the country, all over the world, and that's what I did. And it's paying off for me now because you never know, who can be a CEO one day, or a head coach, or a principal, or a doctor, or a lawyer, or whatever. So I think college, gives you that, time to bridge the gap and meet different people from all walks of life. And my biggest thing is just have fun because it goes quick. Those 4 years go quick.
Man, you're not kidding, man. Now to the career aspect. You're a two-time champion, two-time NBA champion. Not only did you play alongside with probably the greatest players of all time, but you also played against them. Now tell
Yeah.
me, how did that become and make you a better player?
And also tell us about the experience as well. The experience,
Most
learning,
def.
not only going against it, but learning from the greats. So go ahead and talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the best part for me. Like growing up with basketball, I'm obsessed. Like I used to collect cards. I used to hang, magazine covers, magazine pictures on my wall. So I damn near had. Oh, my bad. I had every.
No,
I
my
had
grandma
every.
listening.
I
My
I
grandma.
had. I had every player, on my wall. Man, LeBron had a wall. Kobe had a wall, and Jordan had a wall, and then the other walls just had players from everywhere. And then I think just growing up, being able to meet my idols, being able to play with my idols, play against my idols, I think that's the coolest part. Building relationships and bonds with people you grew up, being fans of and idolizing. My time with the Warriors was great. I got to learn from Steph every day. I got to guard him every day. I got to shoot with him every day. I got to shoot with Clay every single day. Literally, us three. I mean, that's when I knew I was a good shooter, when they allowed me to shoot with them every day. And literally, we would shoot every single day. Obviously, me and Kevin, one of my best friends in the world, we grew up together. He's always been a big brother to me. He helped me, decide what high school I was going to, what college I was going to, what agent I was picking. I mean, girl advice. I mean, everything you can imagine he's given me. So he's always been a big brother for me. And we always talk about us playing together in the league. So we got to play together. We got to win a championship together. And I think he's always, I mean, MVP, second pick in the draft. He's always been top tier player. But, I saw him play, some of his best basketball in Golden State, and I was right along with him. And then obviously he's taken another step, me personally, in Brooklyn. So to have that relationship and to win a championship with somebody like that we grew up, dreaming about, was a dream come true. And then, I played with Bron my rookie year in Cleveland. So we had that relationship, and then us getting back together in LA. He called me as soon as he heard I was a free agent to tell me to come to LA. Me and AD, same class, same McDonald's American game, same USA team. So we've been close for 10 plus years. So to be there with them was great. I got to learn from Rondo. I mean, I grew up, idolizing Rondo, pure point guard. Dwight Howard. I mean, just so many people who I grew up literally idolizing. I got to win a championship with, and I got to play against, in playoffs and stuff like that. So for me, like, yeah, I'm a hooper. Yeah, I'm competitive, but I'm a fan first. I'm a fan of the game first. So just to be around that type of basketball, royalty, it meant a lot to me.
Okay, let's touch a little bit about LA. I heard that was very important for you when you was playing for LA. It was something special for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was my childhood team. My dad was a big Laker fan, so I was kind of born into it. I kind of I remember Jordan. I remember watching Jordan, watching him win his last championship in '98. Like, I remember that, like, vividly. I remember that whole playoffs. But, I was 5 years old, so I really didn't know basketball like that. So, my first favorite player ever was Cole. So, and it was a great time. I mean, I saw him win 3 championships in a row. And then, just growing up, I was always a Laker fan. And I saw him win 2 more championships in 09 and 10. And I always took pride in being a big Laker fan. That kind of, me and my dad was always close, but, that our love for the Lakers, we just had that special bond. And, I always wanted to play for the Lakers when I made the league. Just something that my dad, we used to always talk about. He literally used to manifest it. And, after my time with the Warriors, I got to sign with the Lakers, and it was a great feeling. I got to play 2 seasons with them, win a championship, and it was literally a dream come true, because I literally had every Laker jersey. I had so much Laker gear, like, it's ridiculous. And just the love for Laker Nation that the Laker fans have is just something that I really can't describe.
Okay, so being alongside some of the greatest, you get to see their work ethic on a day-to-day basis. So let's talk about a typical work week for you. Waking up, what was a typical work week for you?
During the season or in the summer?
Just during the season. You could talk about also the difference between the summer and workouts.
Yeah, the summer is really lax. You playing 82 seasons. I've been in 3 straight finals, not counting this year. So, I know I'm playing deep into the summer. So summer is pretty lax. Try to get my work in as much, but I like to chill in the summer. Chill with my family. But during the season, man, if it's a game day, you got to shoot around in the morning. You got to shoot around typically at 10 o'clock. You got to be at the gym 9 o'clock, working out, getting your reps in, getting your work in, lifting, doing whatever. You got to shoot around. You got to, ice up. You got to get stretched. You got to get your recovery in after, get breakfast, might get back to the crib about noon, take your little nap from noon. It depends on who you are. Some dudes like 30 minutes. I'm like a 2-hour nap guy. So I'll take a nap from like noon to 2, waking up. I leave the crib 2:30, get to the arena around like 4. for a 7 o'clock game, and you got your work you got to do. You got the arena just getting warm, but you really just chilling, waiting for the game. Then you got the game, and then so you get back to the crib like 10:30, 11. So I mean, it's a long day. 82 games, 82 times you got to do that. Sometimes you're on a road, you might get a 10, 12-day road trip. You might get 4 different cities in 5 nights. So that's always fun for me. I love just going from city to city, staying at different hotels, playing in different arenas, seeing the different colors, seeing the different fans. I've always been, a fan of that. So it's fun. Like, I love to travel. I love the schedule, and it's definitely busy, but it's definitely worth it.
Okay, so I know you had a couple questions you want to ask him about his NBA career.
All right, so you played in LA, right? That atmosphere there is crazy. Now tell me, what is your favorite arena to play in?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Obviously the Garden is special. Playing at home against the Wizards is special. I always have good games like in Houston. I always have good games in Toronto. I love playing in Oracle Arena. Well, oh, wow, it's not even Oracle anymore. It's they changed it. So that was always fun though. But if I had one pick, I say home. I say against the Wizards, Capital One Arena, because it's home. I just grew up going to that arena as much as possible. And yeah, I'll say Capital One will probably be my favorite to play in for sure.
And so what's your favorite one-on-one matchup as well?
My favorite one-on-one, my one-on-one matchup?
Yeah.
When you see him, you know it's gonna be. It's on go. You ready? You've been practicing. You
look at your calendar and you just mark the day.
When we get there, it's on and it's popping.
To be honest, bro, the league, it's no off nights, bro. So you gonna get everybody's best shot. I mean, I know for me, I've been playing on some powerhouse teams, so there's never been a night off. Everybody's trying to, come at us. So I can't really pinpoint somebody. Dame Lillard always kills me. I've had some good games against him though. I think me and Kemba Walker, I got my first, he's been one of my idols, just emulating. He's a small guard, scoring guard. And I got my first start against him. That was a good game. And, we've been at it a couple times. He always calls my moves out when we're playing. Me and Rondo have had some battles. So I don't know. It's not just one person. Guys have gotten the best of me. I've gotten the best of guys, but it's the mutual respect we have for each other. That always, I always have the respect for it.
Okay, so this is a very important part. As you can see going on in news outlets and stuff like that, you see Simone Biles and Sha'Carri
Richardson.
We're going to call her Miss Richardson. So Miss Richardson, they all have been on the big stage. You've been on the big stage multiple times, performing, at your grades in front of millions. But now you see them to start putting their career and their mental health first. So what are some ways that you protect your mental health?
For me, I have a good circle. My family, my girl, my OGs. I think the biggest thing for me that's been good for me mentally as a young kid, as a young guy in the league, is I had good vets. I've always been blessed with good vets. So anytime I was going through any financial questions or financial problems or family problems or friend problems or coach coaching problems, whatever, I always could lean on my vets. I've had some incredible vets. And I think that's the key to every young dude's success in the league. I mean, obviously, if you got the talent, you're gonna be successful. But I think guys who've prevailed into all-stars, who kind of wasn't, maybe the number one guy at first, that had to kind of work their way, they all tell you they had some good vets. And for me, mentally, I'm going through this alone. I'm going through this my first time going through it. So there's a small percent of people who can relate to you, and that's your teammates and other people in the league. Most of the time they're the breadwinners of their family. They have, 5 to 10 people they're taking care of, so they kind of know, they kind of can relate to what we're going through. So I always had great vets, from day one. When I was in Cleveland, when I went to Dallas, I had I was in Cleveland, I had Bron and Jr. Richard Jefferson. When I went to Dallas, I had Wesley Matthews. Dirk was there, but me and Wes, we hit it off right away. I had Devin Harris. When I went to New Orleans, I had Quincy Pondexter. When I went to Golden State, obviously I had Kevin, Steph, Clay. I also had Draymond. I had David West. I had Zaza. I had Sean Livingston. I had Dre. Jonas. Then I went to the Lakers. I had Bron again, Rondo. I had Avery Bradley, Dudley, Dwight. I mean, I had so many people who I could kind of lean on. So, like I said, I've had the cheat code, not just to basketball, but to life. Because I had guys like that I can call on, I can lean on, and they've been with me through it all. So I think, to answer your question, the key to my mental health has been sticking to my vets, being a sponge, asking a lot of questions, and just trying to find happiness. And my happiness is just being with my family, being around my family. My happiness isn't based on where I am in my career, how many points I scored, if I won or lost a game. It's just me kind of being with my family. That's where I find my pure happiness.
Okay, and also, everybody here has a inner circle, a close knit group of friends. Do you create a safe space for them as well to be able to not only come to you, but you're able to come to them, and you feel as though you're safe to let them know, like, yo, bro, not having a good day, and y'all able to sit down and talk about it, help find solutions. Do you create a safe space for them as well?
Yeah, well, my friends know, like my guys, like my guys who I talk to every day, who I'm with every time I come home, who I spend the most time with, they know when I'm not having a bad day, I get a little snappy or cranky. They know, like, but most of the time, like, I'm coming to them. Like, they're not coming to me for stuff. They all got their own stuff that they're going through. So we go through it together. They all got their stuff that they're doing every day. So they're busy as well. So most of the time, I'm coming to them for stuff to vent. Man, coach said this, coach did that. Man, this happened in practice, man. This dude who I ain't talked to in 2 years just asked me for money. It's more like my friends are like more my therapists and my protection, because they protect me from nonsense that could potentially go on just in life, and just me like not really having that outlet to vent like that. I vent to them, and we always make sure we're good. It's not just me making sure they good; they make sure I'm good. They don't just call me and ask me, where we're going tonight. Yo, I need some money. It's like, you all right today? You all right? You straight? Like, but how you sleep? You know what I'm saying? Just real friendship. And I've had to go through friends. I've had to go through stuff to really realize who's really there for me. So I'm 28 now, 7 years in the league. I'm getting older, but still trying to grow as much as possible. Took some not really losses. I don't consider them losses. I consider them lessons on just people and life and situations. But I think my group of guys that I have right now, my family that I'm with right now, they've helped me a lot. They've helped me a lot.
Got you. So now tell me this: you dealing with fame, and just dealing with fame, it's a
Having that
different
spotlight
aspect.
always, having that spotlight constantly on you.
That's a different aspect, and that's like another weight you actually carry with stress, right? So now is how do you like stay focused when dealing with fame? Like, because I know you have people, in your ears at time. Oh, this and that, can't go out places. Like, how do you deal with that?
Well, how do you deal with the constant attention? Because that's not something that's normal to have, cameras constantly in your face, especially if you're taking a big loss and then automatically, boom, cameras in your face. You got to do press conference. You got people in the street ask you what happened. So how do you deal with that constant tension, as well as how do you stay focused?
I mean, to be honest with y'all, like, this will come with it. Like, that's what I work for. That's what I work for. I wanted to grow up and people know who I was. I love when, fans, ask me for pictures. I love when, I could take a picture with a little kid or, a family and make their day. Because at the end of the day, like, you can be, as famous as possible. It's going to slow down sooner or later. Maybe like couple people, Michael Jordan, Kobe, you know, when he was, you know, still alive, Bron. I mean, there's a couple guys who the fame will never slow down. But you could be you could be an all-star, you could be a Hall of Famer. You know, you get 50 years old, and kids might not know who you are. So for me, like I appreciate it, you know, while it's still here, while it's still fresh. Because I remember growing up, and when I saw any NBA player, you know, I wanted just to meet them. Obviously, camera phones and stuff wasn't out back then, so I couldn't take a picture. But man, I was big on just shaking somebody's hand and just telling them how much, you know, they meant to me. So I always wanted that. So I embrace it. I embrace it. I ain't trying to be all in everybody's camera. I ain't, you know, I'm low key, but at the same time, I appreciate the fans. I appreciate the love they always show. And for me, like I've had an interesting journey in the story. So it's not like, hey, Quinn, man, you a good basketball player all the time. Yeah, I get that. But most of the time, it's like, man, I love your story. You never quit. You know, your motivation. That's the best feeling in the world. To have people come up and recognize me for that. So I embrace the fame, quote unquote, or whatever, the attention. I'm smart. I'm smart with it. I try to use my platform and stage to help others. And I try to do my part as much as possible.
So how did since you do, you know, since you said you had a girl, how does she deal with having, you know, dating? How's that that relationship work with you? Her, you know, you being in the spotlight and stuff like that. How does she take that as well? Because you know that might put a strain on her relationship as well.
I mean, she knows what comes with it. I mean, but she got her own thing going. She's, you know, she's doing great in her career. She motivates me, to be honest. So she keeps me on my toes. If I've, you know, slept in late a couple days in a row, she gonna wake me up and, man, get up, go to the gym. You know, she always finds ways to keep me motivated. And yeah, man, she's giving me a different perspective on life. Anytime I get complacent, she always trying to find ways to challenge me. And that's what you need. That's what you need. That's what I need for sure. So, you know, my career has elevated since, you know, we've been rocking. And it's not perfect. You know, we fight, we beef all the time, but, you know, nobody's perfect. But, you know, when it matters, you know, I know she got my back.
Go ahead.
Now tell me this, right? So y'all dealing with a famous aspect, right? As a relationship wise,
People recognize you in person and stuff like that.
Say y'all go out for dinner and things like that. Like how you go about that?
Are you able still to go out and do normal things?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. I'm regular size, bro. So all I gotta do is throw a hoodie on and I can blend in. Especially now with Corona with the mask, like you really gotta like really be sparing to notice it's me. So man, I be outside, man. I be at amusement parks. I go to dinner. But like I said, I was growing up, like
You'll live your life.
it didn't matter who I was, what I was doing. Like I was outside. I was, you know, trying to connect with people. And I think that's why so many people show me love back home, because I have personal relationships with people. Like I go to these people's neighborhoods and, you know, have them touch me and let it be known, like, look, like I ain't the biggest, I ain't the strongest, but I worked and I made it, you know what I'm saying? Especially to these kids. So, man, like I'm able to do whatever, to be honest with you. And I was like, some places I can't go, you know, during the day because it might be just too much. But I throw my hoodie on, man, I'm straight. I'm blending in. So that's the gift of being, you know, not like 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". You can't really sneak around when you're 6'5", 6'7". So yeah, I'm 6'1", man. I kind of really basically do whatever.
It's funny, 'cause I got a funny story. I'm sure you're not gonna remember it, but it was a I think it was a Go-Go Joe on U Street. The Mocello. You was at one of the Mocellos, you and a couple of your boys, and I remember I dapped you up. I don't even think he remembered me for real. But I saw that it was cool to be able to see you, to be like, yeah, your state, he's not too famous to not go out and be able to touch him. You can still go up, go speak. I know we dapped up. I don't think you really remember me for real. But it's okay. But it was cool, the experience to go out and be like, yo, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I called your mans. I was like, yo, where you at? I see your boys outside.
Yeah.
You know, adapt you up. It's cool to be able to go see, you know, oh, I'm not too big. I don't got to walk around with security. I'm able to go out and just, you know, be a normal person. So I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I need that. Like, I need that outlet. You know what I'm saying? Like, being an NBA player, like, you're treated a certain way. And, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but that's just what it is. But for me, like, especially like I be needing like that week, 2 weeks just to be home. And like I grew up going to the go-go, you know what I'm saying? So I just need that outlet, you know what I'm saying? Like I mean, anything can happen to anybody anytime, but I mean, I show love. I'm not on no rah-rah stuff. I'm out, humble, just showing love, man. Like I'm gonna be with my boys, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be with the gang. So I don't really need no security like that. I mean, obviously, go out, be smart because it's alcohol involved. You never know how much somebody's been drinking, jealousy and stuff like that. So, when I go out at nighttime, yeah, I'm gonna have security. I'd rather be safe than sorry. But at the same time, it's like I'm gonna be able to move around how I want to, where I'm from, just because, I just show love to people. I don't walk around like I'm better than anybody. I don't walk around like, hey, I'm this and that. Look at me. I just be chilling, dog. So, obviously, I just like to, do things, go to the go-go's. I grew up in the go-go, go to Six Flags. I always go to Six Flags when I'm home. Go to football games, just chill my my homies and chill with my family. And I don't know, I just be chilling.
And I got one more question before we start going into the business, because a lot of financial literacy stuff that a lot of people don't know about. But I'm gonna do one more question before we start talking about that. You from the DMV? There's a whole lot of cats also in the NBA that's from the DMV. So is it like a tight knit group when y'all when y'all see each other? It's all love because y'all from the same area. Like how
I
was
know you
that?
say you hang out with Beal and KD. Anybody else?
Did some stuff with Victor Oladipo as well.
Yeah, I mean, me and Vic went to elementary school together, middle school together, high school together. I grew up playing with the Grant brothers my entire life. Going from seven and under to high school. I mean, kind of everybody, like, especially the guys older than me, the Chris Wrights, Nolan Smiths, Beasleys, Austin Freeman's, Jared Jackson. Like, I grew up idolizing them. So I was always like, KD, I was always clinging along to him. So, I was just always like their honorary little brother. So, obviously we're all close. Jeff Green. I just think the biggest thing is like the people who did it before us, especially my generation, the people who did it before us, like they always was giving back to us, just giving knowledge, giving time, being able to touch them. Like I remember Jared Jackson picked me up from school, right? And I thought I was the coolest guy in the world. I was 6th, 7th grade, Jared Jackson picking me up. Like, so like you couldn't tell me nothing as a kid. So I try to do the same thing for the kids coming up now. So, even some kids, like I remember when Markel Fultz was in middle school, and I remember when Chase Young was in middle school. I remember when Sadiq Bey was in elementary school. I remember when all these guys was young, like, and just to see where they are now. Najee Marshall, just a lot of the guys, who's in year 1, year 2 in the league is crazy because like that's probably how Jeff and Kay and Jack and all them, Steve, all them was looking at me. So man, it's cool. It's a unique group of guys that we have because we're so small, but we can hold our name with the LAs, the Chicagos, the Texas, the major cities and states because like we have that much talent. And it's like we're all like down the street from each other. It's like California, like some guys, they're 2 hours away from each other. They ain't had a relationship growing up. Florida, like it's big, like, you know what I'm saying? Even Chicago, like some of probably the Chicago guy, well, even Illinois, like just, they probably ain't playing on the same AE team or, go to, just for us, it's like, man, we went to the same school, we went to the same church, same neighborhood, everything. So I just think it's a very unique place. So we definitely got to be, tight just because that's what our county was built on. It was built on, us being together, us being tight, and we all root for each other.
Man, I heard it's something in the water, right? It's something in the water.
For sure.
And so I want to bring in because we have a mutual friend as well, and you talked about having your friends, your friends as well, your close circle got their own things going on, got their own businesses and stuff like that. So I want to bring in Kelvin, KT Thompson, go and come holler at us real quick, bro.
I'm just humble to be here, just to be able to chime in on that, you know, on this whole conversation. I really don't even have too much, honestly.
It's
I
okay.
didn't even, I honestly didn't even want to be in on the call because I just love to watch bro, and I just thought it was just a great opportunity to be able to, you know, connect you guys together, connect the HBCU, you know, the Quinn Cook brand and stuff like that, and then, you know, help elevate some young brothers like yourself. You know what I mean? Help you guys keep going and keep thriving at what you guys are doing and stuff like that, man. Hey, listen, I'm a nobody in this room, man. You dig?
Yeah,
I'm just here. I'm just here, bro.
You're
I'm
the,
just
you're the
here. You know
example.
what I mean? So, you know, again, I'm just humble to just be able to just watch this, man, and just I always get something from bro, man. So hopefully to all, you know, everybody on campus and stuff like that, man. Hopefully y'all can be able to pick up and take some things that because listen, man, we could have showed up, we could have got gifts, we could have brought everything, right?
Mm.
But you know, a gift or anything materialistic, you only, you know, you might pick that up and it only may last with you for 2 3 hours. You know what I mean? But the knowledge that he just gave y'all can last a lifetime. You know what I mean? So just try to take that knowledge with y'all, man, and just hopefully it can help y'all navigate through y'all, you know, y'all school endeavors, man. So listen, I'm out the way. You know, hey,
Oh,
look, back to Q Cook, man. Hey, look, I'm just a fly on the wall, bro. That's it.
I wanted you to
That's it.
for example because he talked about his inner circle and how you know y'all got everything going on. Y'all got your own endeavors and stuff like that. Y'all still able to come together just to you know show love. Be like, yo, bro, you okay? You sleeping? You doing this, that, and the third. And so I wanted to be like, you look, it's an example right there. You know, this is how it's supposed to be done. You have your own business. So let's go start into talking about some business. So, you know, life after sports is, you know, it's unfortunate, but there are some people that, you know, do end up going broke and from mismanagement of money or just bad investments and stuff like that. So I want to talk to both of y'all about that as well. So Quinn, I'm gonna start with you in the beginning of your career. How were you with the money management thing?
I was bad, just like anybody else. You know, I didn't know about taxes. I didn't know about state taxes. I didn't know about agent fees. I didn't know about none of that stuff. So, I mean, my first deal, I blew through that. I blew through it quick. It was quick. So, but like I said, it's never a loss; it's a lesson. So, now I've been fortunate to get, you know, 4 or 5 more deals after that, for a lot more. So, I always take what I did early and learn from it, you know, and still now, like I do, I'm lucky, you know, I have a great team, financial team. And like I said, I was around, um, financial royalty, not just how much money they had, but, you know, just how they thought and how they, you know, move with their finances. And just to take some stuff that I learned from my vets has been key for me. And I'm hands on, man. You can have a lot of money, but you want to learn how your money's working for you. Like I would have, you know, a big chunk of money just sitting in savings. Like, why not, you know, we want to save, but why not take 75% of that or 50% or 25, however you're comfortable, and make it work for you. So, I mean, obviously, like I knew none of that growing up. But like I said, I had to take some losses and I had to learn to really, you know, get it. And now I have a financial team that's immaculate. We do an immaculate job. You know, sometimes you can have monthly, you know, rundowns of what you spending and stuff like that. Me and my team, we do weekly. I'm really on top of that kind of stuff. And you know, I had my vices. I've had times where I could be better, but you know, I think one of the biggest compliments I've gotten as a pro, you know, from Steve and Reggie, and Mike, who are my guys, you know, my financial team. I'm one of the, I would say cheapest, but you know, I'm one of the I just like save my money, like you said, because I'd rather just chill now. I'd rather live below my means now, and you know, when I'm done playing, be able to really live how I want to live. I'm still in work mode right now, so I like living below my means right now. But you know, sometimes like you still gotta enjoy like the fruits of your labor. Like, I mean, we work hard for this, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, my family's taken care of, everybody's taken care of, my bills always paid. You know, I have great investments. You know, I'm set for the rest of my life. But I also need to realize, like, man, look, man, go buy you something nice. You know what I'm saying? do this and that. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't take it with you. Obviously, you want to leave it with your kids. You leave it with your kids, generational wealth. But at the same time, I kind of want to enjoy, life. I want to enjoy my hard work. So I'm getting to that point now. I've saved enough to where, I could, buy a watch, or I could buy a nice whip, or, I want a big crib. So all that type stuff. So my friends have kind of gotten me out of that mindset. Like, I'm always work. What's next? Save. Now, you save, you're still going to work, but enjoy it a little bit. So I've taken some vacations. I've done a lot. So, nah, man, just in my 7 years, I've learned a lot.
Now you got your salary and you got your signing bonus. Now tell me, I know that signing bonus, it hits your
Sweet.
account like the day
Direct
after.
deposit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
direct
direct
deposit. You
deposit.
wake up the next morning. Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay. What was the first thing you bought when you got to the league?
What's the first thing I bought?
Yeah, when that direct deposit hit.
I bought a chain and a watch. I bought, because I always wanted a chain. I wanted to be a rapper in my next life, so I always wanted a chain. So I bought a chain and I bought a watch. I bought a Rolex and I bought a nice chain. And that, like I said, that money was gone quick. I was spending. But like, it went from like, I didn't spend most of it. I gave most of it away. You know what I'm saying? I gave it to like my homies. I gave it to, people who would ask me for money, like, but I never gave it to like the people close to me, if that makes sense. Nobody ever like really, really close to me has ever asked me for money. You know what I'm saying? So I take care of them, I make sure they straight what's understood. But I didn't know how to say no. So I ran through that first one real quick because I couldn't say no. You know what I'm saying? I felt bad that, I made it and this person is working a 9 to 5 with 3 kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever somebody was going through, I just always had a soft spot. And, I never did it, because I wanted anything back. I just have a soft spot for helping people. That's how my pops was. So I blew through it, but, I got it back, quick. And I've been better with it now. But at the same time, yeah, I definitely blew a lot of money on a chain and a watch that I don't even have anymore. They're gone. They got stolen. So
I find it real interesting that you said the words no, because I was watching the episode on I Am Athlete. They was talking about how you need them vets, like how you had the big dudes and the big, money making dudes, but not the fact that the check that they had was big, how financially literate they were. And, he said that, you always need that vet to come in and tell you, learn how to say no. So when for you, did you realize that, I need to start saying no?
I'm gonna keep it all the way 1,000 with you. I'm gonna keep it all the way honest. Like, I never could say no, and like I said, I felt bad. But the first time I realized to say no is the first time I said no, because as much as you can help somebody, you can help them out 50 times, 100 times, and the first time you say no, and if they react a certain way, like, I remember the first person I told no to, and I've been helping this dude so long. Before I made the league, I was always helping this dude, and like I said, I said yes 100 times. The first time I said no, he flipped on me like, damn, like, for real? All right, bet, say no more. So another time I said no, it just got easier and easier and easier, and it just comes with it. Like, it comes with it. Like, sometimes you might feel obligated to save the world, but it's not fair on us, and it's not smart. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have 100 people ask you for stuff, have ideas, stuff like that. I mean, just financially, it's not intellectual to feel a burden. You can help everybody, you can invest in everything, stuff like that. So for me, like, my first time saying no, it wasn't tough, it wasn't hard, and I saw the reaction I got, and it made it easier after that. So people don't really ask me for nothing anymore, to be quite honest with y'all. So I think that for those first couple years, it was a learning curve. But like, people that like my mom, like I probably would never tell my mom no, anything in life, but like if my mom has never asked me for nothing, as my sisters never asked me for nothing, like I kind of like if somebody asks me for something, like it's gonna be an easy no if it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? If I can help you out a little bit, yeah, for sure. But at the end of the day, I gotta take care of my people around me immediately and myself. So it's been easier, but you know, it's definitely something I had to go through and I had to learn for sure.
Okay, so this next question, I know my co-host wants to ask. This one's for both you, Quinn, and for you, Kelvin, as well. So go ahead and take your mic off of mute so we can hear you. So go ahead and ask the question.
Now, hear this. How can financial literacy improve amongst the community?
Well, our community, as you know,
Yes,
Black men,
black
how can
males.
we improve financial literacy?
You want to go? You want me to go, Kales, or you want to go? Or I go.
That's one off. Yeah.
You want me to go? All right, all right. I think it should be implemented in schools right away. You know, starting in elementary school, going up to middle school, going up to high school. Man, like for me, no disrespect to any school I've gone to, any teacher I've had. There's no way. I went to DeMatha High School, Catholic high school. I went to Duke University, like, you know what I'm saying? And when I got to the league, like I had no idea about taxes and I had no ideas about investing. I had no idea about none of that stuff, nothing. And I went to the biggest schools, you know, in the world. I think it needs to be taught from a young age. And sometimes you got to think like this. Somebody who, okay, let's just say 75% of the NBA comes from poverty, right? These numbers aren't real, but hypothetically, 75% of the league comes from poverty, right? So you come from poverty, never had any money. You know, you probably went to college for a year, maybe 2 years. You didn't make money in college. Now they do, which is great. But now, you know, you probably the most you ever had in your account or in your hand or wherever could have been a couple thousand. Imagine next day you wake up, you get drafted, and you get a signing bonus for 10 million, right? Or say you get signed, say you get drafted, the number 4 pick, and you're slated to make $10 million that year, right? Like, so on paper, what y'all see, hey, Quinn Cook, Kelvin Thomas just signed for $10 million, right? You might think that it's $10 million. Depending on where you live at, you might only see 5.2 of that, 5.3. You got state tax, you got government tax. NBA players, we have to pay an entertainment tax on every city that we play in. So if I'm playing in against the Warriors, I have to pay California an entertainment tax. So it's something that we don't know, but then you got your agent fees. If you have a financial team, they get a fee. You got to live. You got to drive. You know what I'm saying? You might, you know, us now, it's all about staying healthy, getting rest. So you might got to get a chef. You know what I'm saying? It's different bills and different stuff that you don't really think about when you sign these deals. And so for a guy to sign for $10 million, $1 million, it can go quick. It can go quick. And kids that's 20 years old, 21, 22 years old that don't have that financial knowledge in that area, it's easy for them to blow money. It's easy. I'm gonna buy some chains, I'm gonna buy some watches, I'm gonna invest in my cousin's business, I'm gonna send the hood 100,000. You know what I'm saying? It's just it can go quick, but we don't know. And I come from a great, you know, a great financial background with my parents and, you know, my family and my school. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I never knew about taxes. I never knew about, you know, fees and stuff like that. So to answer your question, I think it needs to be taught in school. Like, you know, kids are forced to go to school. We have to go to school for 8 hours a day and learn about history and learn about math and learn about English and stuff like that. We need to learn about what really matters when we get older, because everybody who works has to pay taxes. It touches everybody. So that's stuff that we need to learn. So when we get to the league, when we become doctors, when we become lawyers, when you sign your first rap deal. Like we know, all right, boom, like how to navigate, with that financial knowledge. So I think it starts in school. I think it should start early, not just college. I think it should start in high school.
But definitely too, but since the college kids are getting some benefits and stuff like that, they need to start learning too how to manage their money, because now the college students are able to go in and get their benefits. Well, I think that's real. I think that's real neat because you ain't having when you was in college, and now coming in, you're giving all these kids this vast amounts of money, not teaching them how to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it should be mandatory. Like I don't think it should be a choice. I
Mm.
think it needs to be mandatory, and starting in high school, and it has to be mandatory in college. I think it should be mandatory because it's just as important as math. It's just as important as science to me, because I mean we all go to college to better our careers, and we all want to work, and we all want to make money. So why not teach all these students about financial literacy, about financial knowledge, because it's going to affect them.
Kelvin, what you gotta chime in on? What's your idea?
Just starts at home. You know what I mean? Parents nowadays, man, we just gotta push our kids. We gotta teach our kids, because if you look at other communities like the Jewish community, the Asian community, and stuff like that, man. I mean, they got it when it comes to that stuff, man. When it comes to financial literacy, because they were taught that from a young age. You know, sponges. You know what I mean? So it's all about what you can soak in. And I think that, of course, it just starts with us. You know what I mean? Like we find a way to be able to get to the youth and make them understand, numbers, financial literacy, because like you guys said, they're not teaching this stuff in school, man. You know what I mean? Um, Things, man, where it can get way deeper than than of course what we're going. You know what I mean? Of course, the higher powers will have to let that be whoever the higher powers are. But what we hold ourselves accountable is just let it start at home, man. You know what I mean? Just start teaching your kids at home. And even if you're a brother or sister, even if you're not a parent, even if you're a brother or sister, grab your brother, your sister, your cousin by the hand and say, look, man, let's go do X, Y, and Z. Let's go teach us how to build credit. Let's teach us financial literacy, because credit is the new cash. You know what I mean? You can have all the cash you want in your pocket. You understand? That's why sometimes Instagram and social media can be very misleading, because pretty soon what you gonna do with all that cash? You know what I mean? So credit is king now. You know what I mean? The first thing they're asking you for nowadays when you go apply for anything is what's your social. They're not asking you, income is not even the first question anymore. You know what I mean? So of course that plays a factor, but you get my point. But yeah, man, I think it just starts at home. And I think that we have to take accountability and our community and make sure that we hold each other accountable, and just make sure that, you know, feel. That's just how I feel, man.
Okay. And I know for a fact, you have a daughter, I believe, correct?
So tell me this: what's that certain age you think you should imply this?
Repeat again. You was lagging.
Start this off a year or two, man. I mean, literally at the age 1 or 2. You know
Okay.
what I mean? You could just start it. And I'm not even, and what I mean, and I'm not meaning financial literacy. I'm just speaking just numbers in general, because numbers are going to lead to, when you actually start talking, like I have conversations with my daughter about that. She's only 8. You know what I mean? And I do. We talk about credit. We talk about saving money. We talk about money working for her. We talk about her getting in the stocks. Talk about all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So to me personally, if your kids are old enough to talk and they're old enough to comprehend and be able to retain information, that's when it starts.
Okay. Quinn, what about you?
I don't have any kids, so I don't know like when kids get like kind of like talkative and responsive. Obviously, his daughter's story is bright as could be. So he has a different experience, but I mean, I agree. I mean, I know I said high school, but why not start when they're 5, 6, 7, 8 years old? You know, like I started studying basketball when I was 5 years old, and I became an expert. Like I knew everything about basketball. You know what I'm saying? So why not start them? You know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old to where, you know, when classes are mandatory in middle school or high school,
Proficient.
it's already second nature. You know what I'm saying? And I agree. But obviously, you know, some kids might not have the parent situation of that. So I just think that, you know, if you can be proactive, you know, with your kids early in home, like Kale said, that would be best. And they can also get it at school. And if they're getting that, you know, I think the world will be in a better financial place, especially the country, when that generation takes of age, and then they'll teach their kids early, like they were taught. Um, but like for our generation, I know for me, like I was never taught it. So my mom used to always tell me about stocks and saving. Like my mom was really good with that, like saving, save, 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 save. So that's all I knew. She put that in my brain when I was 10. When my pops used to give me $20 for the week, my mom would tell me, man, put 15 of it up, put it in the drawer, put it up, and make that 5 stretch. She used to always tell me that. So, you know, that started when I was young. So I knew how to save. You know, when I got my millions, like I'm saving that. Like I'm saving that easy. So I think like Kev said, I think, you know, if you can be proactive as early as possible when they can comprehend. Maybe even when, like I was watching the Kevin Gates interview and he was telling me his kids, you know, when they were infants, when they were toddlers, he was still talking and manifesting things to them. So you know, because kids, you know, they take in everything you give them. So I think the earliest you can start, the better.
Now tell me this, Quinn. Right, when your mom would say, you know, make the $5 stretch for the week, like what was your reaction in that aspect? Like $5 for a week?
I
What-
mean, like, what was I really spending money on though? Like, to be honest, like, if I go get some food, you know, if my parents take me to get some food, I ain't paying for it. They paying for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they made me lunch. They made breakfast. They made me lunch every day at school. I might get like something from the vending machine after school, but if I even went to school with $5, I feel like I was up. So, man, so when I got back to the crib after 2-3 weeks, man, I had a good $60 in the crib. Like, you know, I felt like I was rich.
Mhm.
So I always I love my mom for doing that. Like, because she also showed me to save. And she also, you know, with that $5, like you just asked, I had the budget, right? I had the budget. So I couldn't get all the homies Skittles. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I had to get one homie some Skittles, or maybe I had to get a Skittles and we all had to break down. But, you know, with that 5, I had the budget. So that taught me how to budget at a young age as well. So that's the kind of my mentality now. Like anytime I get a nice piece of change, a nice lump sum, I always put maybe 80% of it up, 90% of it, usually 90%. And that 10%, I might go buy some, or I might, you know, do something with it. But the other 90, man, I let it grow. Not just sit and save, I let it grow.
Okay, let's start highlighting some of the business. I know both of y'all have your hands in a bunch of different things. Quinn, go and talk about some of the businesses and investments that you have your hands in right now.
Man, I've had too many investments. I've had way too many to name. You know, I've been lucky to have, you know, it really started at Duke, man. Just meeting, you know, a lot of my mentors, your Justin Callbacks of the world, your Grant Hills of the world, your John Davis of the world. One of my best friends, we went to college together, Jack Davis, who's a you know, super successful producer, and he's, you know, amazing in investing, and he's my age. I've had that kind of leg up, and obviously being around, you know, the Warriors and being with Kevin, you know, I got to learn so much about that. You know, him, Steph, Clay, Draymond, you know, Andre, they're incredible in business and investing and, you know, off the court moves. And obviously being in LA, I mean, being a Laker, there's so much opportunity I've had. So I've been lucky, man, and I've taken advantage of it. So that's another reason why I really don't be stressing over basketball no more, because I made so much money, from basketball, and I've made that money make me 7, 10, 12 times more than I've made in the league. So um, those are the advantages that I've had, that I'm blessed, the opportunities that I've had, and I'm very thankful for. And I try to, give it to all my friends, give them the knowledge to, you know, try to learn as much as possible about investing. But I've invested in so much, man, probably over 60 investments already. And just maybe some small stuff, some big stuff, some things that went public that has been super successful. But no horror stories, no horror investment stories. And for me, I just like don't, hey, here's $50,000, just because you gave me a good idea. Is for me, I really go through decks. I really ask questions. I'm on these calls asking a lot of questions. And when I was young in it, like I didn't know. So I'll be on there just but now like just reading and getting the information, like try to get as much information as possible. So all ideas aren't good, but at the end of the day, it's your money. You can do what you want with it. If you feel comfortable in something, you know, and you believe in it, I say go for it. But do your research. Don't just go in blindly because you can afford it, because you have 20,000. You have $2,500 to blow. You think, make sure you're doing your due diligence, because, it can come back and bite you, or it can come back and bless you. So I just always tell people what I was told, save first, because some investments can go bad, and you don't want to have $1,000 to your name or $100,000 to your name and invest the whole 100,000, and it doesn't pop. So do your due diligence, do your research, and just try to save as much as possible.
And Kelvin, I know you wanted to highlight some of the business stuff that you're doing as well.
You able to hear me?
Oh yeah, there we go. There you go.
So you can hear me now? All right, cool.
Yeah.
No, so basically, I mean, we done talked off camera, stuff like that, had, conversations and stuff. So, I mean, other than, the water thing still going right now, man, the pandemic, had put a damp on a lot of things, man. At first, it was a great thing for us because, of course, water was very at a limited supply when the pandemic first hit. So we was able to come in and, help a lot of people, help a lot of different families and stuff like that. And then after a while, supply had got cut back, plastic dealing with the COVID, they were saying that plastic, you know what I mean? So it was just a whole big thing that had put a damp on things, but, the water's still going, still got the Thousand Takes company, of course, got a couple different artists and stuff that I'm working with right now. Hey, listen, when it just come to business, just find what you love. You know what I mean? Don't go into business, never go into business, expecting money outcome. You know what I mean? You go into business with passion, something that you love to do. So when you do get paid and you do get rewarded for it, man, it'll all be appreciated. You know what I mean?
And so
So that's what I got.
both of y'all are both friends. So how do you separate when going into business? How you separate what's business and what's personal? Well, when going into any type of business atmosphere, how you separate what's business and what's personal?
Well, honestly, with Q, man, it's like, because I know so many people know Q and all of that, man, I really don't go, honestly, man. I'm just one of those, friends and just one of his brothers that, you know what I mean? I really just don't expect anything from him and never just want to go to Q and be like, I just want Q to know that I'm that brother that he can just come to, and he know for a fact that, all right, when I call Kales or when I'm around Kales, you know what I mean, it's still genuine, pure. Because I know, we known each other since we were 4 or 5, you know what I mean? So, I don't need nothing from Quinn or don't expect anything. So I really don't run any business things, past him. That's probably one of the biggest things that I get in life, is that I don't use my resources, so yeah, man. So, I mean, as far as business between Q and I, you know what I mean? Of course, I mean, he can answer the question as well, but I just try to just stay away from that and really don't ask him for too much or run anything by him. So sometimes it can be a gift and a curse of being, having your brother or your best friends or whatever like that, a celebrity. You know what I mean? Like, it's not all glitz and glamour. You know what I mean? Of course, it is sometimes, a lot of times. Of course, he gonna make it that way. You know what I mean? To show that you appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, like, it's not what everybody think it's wrapped up to be. It's a great thing. It's an awesome thing. You know what I mean? We do, we're able to do a lot that the normal, I guess, or, you know, everyday person isn't able to do. We do have a lot more access to things and stuff like that because of Quinn. But other than that, man, I ain't coming to Quinn with nothing, man. I want Quinn to be able to enjoy his money. He worked hard for it. I've been able to see him there work hard for it. I've seen him literally sweat, blood, tears, literally all of that, bro. I seen it. I was there. You know what I mean? So I'm just one of those friends. I'm just glad that he's in a situation where he could be able to take care of himself, take care of others, and I don't have to be there trying to, you know, blow his bag.
Yeah, he seen a lot of tears, man, because I couldn't beat. Growing up, I couldn't beat Kels and his brother Lamont. I couldn't beat them at all. It was three people who I could never beat. It was them two, and our homie, childhood friend Champ. I could never beat them. I would cry. I would try to fight them. So but they made me tough. You know what I'm saying? So he's seen it all. But I think for me, like, I had a financial trouble like at first. So not saying no, giving away, give. Like, I would give when people wouldn't ask. So I think kind of from year 2 to year 5, I was kind of like guarded, you know, save. Didn't really like, wasn't really into like, you know, people would come with me for stuff all the time, and I would really ignore them because I didn't really want to say no, but like I would just, you know, act like I didn't know anything. But I think like for my friends who like day one friends, not even just day one, because I've met some people who are my circle now that I met 2-3 years ago. Yeah, we got to get out that mentality too. Like day one, everybody that you met or that you knew, you know, when you was 5 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old, whatever, like they can be quote unquote day one, but that don't mean they good for you. And you can also meet people along the journey. You can go to college and meet your best friend in the world forever. You can go, you know, get a job at a law firm when you're 30 and meet one of your best friends forever. You meet people along the way. So I think for me, like, I'm in a space now where I've not conquered, but I feel like I figured out the investment parts, and I figure out, you know, making my money work for me. I figured out like kind of, you know, how I could make moves. I don't need basketball to be, you know, wealthy. I don't need basketball to be successful. So I'm kind of at that phase now, and I'm all about ownership. So I have some ideas that I want to present to like my people, and kind of, you know, because I'm all about ownership now. I'm all about, you know, owning something, giving it to my kids, giving it to my family, giving it to my friends. So all my friends, like I said, they work. All my friends work. All my friends ain't just hanging around me. All my friends ain't just, you know, I'm Q's homeboy. Nah, like I got my own thing going on. Yeah, when bro in town, we gonna pop off, we gonna do this, we gonna chill, but I do my own thing. You know what I'm saying? And I got those kind of men. I got those kind of homies. So like that makes me feel good to where it's like that's some pressure that's off me, because a lot of people, like a lot of my colleagues, man, like, man, they pay this bill, that bill, this, they take care of him, his family, that, da, da, da. Like, it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like, if you doing that much, it kind of takes focus off the process. So my people, like I said, like, they don't ask me for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I look out, like I show love, but they don't ask me for nothing because they bosses in their own right. So, you know, when I get some ownership, when I got some stuff cooking up that I can't really put out right now, but I think by the end of this year, I'm gonna have some special stuff to where I can be in a position financially. Like, look, bro, let's let's do this, da da da. You know what I'm saying? So, I just appreciate that my guys got their own thing. They just ain't Quinn's homeboy, man, whatever. Like they got their own thing. Like, and they motivate me. I got a homie. He work out every single day. at 7 a.m. We can go out till 4 in the morning. He ain't missing that gym.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And that motivates me. So my man, you know, we got a great thing going, and you know, I'm cooking up some stuff to where, you know, we all can be rich forever, wealthy forever.
Got you. 2 words: community service.
Ah,
You know, you gotta give back to the community. Got to.
Sure.
talk about it. Let's talk about it.
I mean, that's everything. Like that's everything. Like I think I'm the only I think I'm the only dude from my area who has a camp.
Okay.
Home, and my camp is amazing. It's incredible. I do a lot, man. Like I said, like that's all I saw growing up. What was the people before me doing it? And like I said, I have a knack, you know, just for people. I have a soft spot for people. So, you know, I've tried, and I don't say it to brag. I don't do it, you know, to hey, look at me, I do it. That's just, you know, I grew up. My mom and dad every Thanksgiving morning we would go down to the homeless shelter and cook Christmas. You know, Christmas Eve we would go take toys and clothes that we didn't wear, take it down to the homeless and to people who need it. So, like I said, like Kale said, you know, when you have that kind of instilled in your brain at 7, 8, 9 years old, you know, it becomes second nature. So for me, you know, like I said earlier in the interview, like all the money's cool, the fame's cool, the winning's cool, being recognized is cool, but the best part is having this kind of platform to be able to give back. You know what I'm saying? To be able to, you know, try to help, you know, make the world a better place. Try to make, you know, your community a better place. So I'm all about community service, dog. I don't broadcast it at all, but I'm all about it. I'm there for it.
I mean,
And I just want to piggyback on that too, though, real quick, because it's been times where like I would literally have to like, bro, we could be just anywhere, mall, out in just a public setting, bro, and I would literally have to pull Quinn away, bro, because he takes literally so much pride in just making sure that everybody gets that picture, everybody gets that time, everybody. So when he's sitting up here telling you guys that he literally takes pride in that, bro, you guys didn't hear me piggyback off nothing he's been saying this far, but bro, he really takes pride in that, man. He's not one of these celebrities out here who say it, you know what I mean, and then they do otherwise. Bro really lives, eating, breathes, taking care of people, man, and just putting that work in, bro. You know what I mean? And that's a fact.
right. So
I just wanted to put that on you out there.
so how many years have you been doing the basketball camp? Because I know I was there for one of those years.
We finished our 5th one. It would have been 6th, obviously, but 2020 we didn't have it because of COVID. But I did it after my first year of college. Yeah, I did it after my first year of college, and we've been doing it since 2015. And yeah, man, I just always had a big following. You know, I've always had a big following. Obviously, playing where I played and doing what I did on the court, my story, stuff like that. And I just always had a knack for kids. And I remember going to a tournament, me and my aunt, we wanted to go watch my little cousin play. And man, like kids was just running to me, like doing this and that. And you know, my aunt was like, man, you should do a camp. Like, you know, just you always wanted camp. You grew up in camps. Like, why not do a camp right now? I wasn't where I wanted to be at, you know, in my career yet. But me, my mom, and my homie Pettis, we did it all by ourselves. We raised the money. We got sponsors. I paid literally. We had like a small sponsor. Smoothie King sponsored us as well, but you know I had to pay for everything, and I wasn't nowhere near where I wanted to be. But I'm just like, man, like to see these kids with my name on their shirt, to see these kids come in here and you know bring joy and have fun. Like obviously, you know when you're a kid, you're the purest. So man, it was a hit from day one, and ever since then, like it just became like an event. You know, you had to come through Quinn's camp just to, you know, it felt like a club in there. Just the kids playing. You had DJ, you had the bros come through, you had the chicks come through. I mean, but it was just everything, and every year it grew. And obviously this year we had to take a step back because of the COVID, so we didn't want it as big as usual. But 2019 we had 450 kids, so we went from having 100 kids the first year to 450 last year or the year before that. So nah, it's been great, man. It's the best time of year for me, and man, I love it. I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna do it until I can't do it no more. And then my mom does a lot with juvenile centers. She does a golf tournament in honor of my dad's name, giving back. You know, we do a lot. We do a lot. We do a lot. And there's so much more that we do behind closed doors just for other families. But the biggest thing that I take away from the camp is that, like, obviously it's not an elite camp, so that it's not about skill. We don't just take the best players. We take, anybody. We always want to teach them to become better humans as long as being great basketball players. But the best part is, like, obviously it's during the summer, right? But during the school year, fall, winter, like, my mom is pulling up to these kids' games. She's pulling up with my sister to they might have a music recital, graduation, anything. And that's the best part. We communicate with the kids and the parents all during the year. And that's real giving back. Not, I'm gonna build with y'all 3 days, but now we're gonna build these 3 days and we're gonna keep building the next 3 years, 4 years. So to see some
most players don't even spend time at their camp, not to cut you off.
Most of the time, they just popping up, hey, take a picture. No, I'm there the whole day. And it's not because I'm like, yo, look at me, I'm different, I want to be this and that, but, like, I genuinely, like, be having fun with the kids. We be turning up, we be having fun. So, nah, man, I love it.
I could definitely testify to that because let me set the scene. 2018, Quinn Cook basketball camp. I'm there. Kelvin
19. You was 19, bro. It was 19.
Oh yeah, so you already know what I'm talking about. All right, so it was 2019. I was there. I was one of the volunteers as well. You don't even remember that? We've been around. We've been familiar with each other for a while. Yeah, definitely. So I was one of the volunteers at Quinn basketball camp. Kelvin brought me in, and it was something special that happened at that one. What happened for that one? Carlos, what you want to say?
Man, I can't lie. I need to go to one. I got.
Yeah, you gotta go to one. But
sure.
It was something special about the 2019 one. It was Quinn Cook Day.
Okay.
I think that was when also Brooks came.
So what's crazy is, so what's crazy that it cut you off, but so before also Brooks was in office, it was Rashawn Baker. So they did that in 2018, Rashawn's last year. They surprised me with that. But obviously Rashawn getting out of office and also Brooks getting in office. Also, obviously, she went to Duke and her and my mom are really, really, really close. So, I already had a day. But also Brooks wanted to recognize me again, just to make it short, stamp it. Like, I know, I wasn't in office when your day was declared, so I'm gonna declare it again. So for her to do that, to show me that kind of love was incredible. So yeah, so I got my own day in my own county, in the county that I grew up in, which is a dream come true for me.
Definitely, I was there. So like you said earlier, you was sitting there the entire. I could testify he was there the entire day.
Yeah,
Interacting with the kids, running drills with the kids, just getting time to sit down and just talk to them. And, as a known person, you don't really see that a lot. Celebrities come through, they take their picture. Hey, how you doing? But he was there not only with the big kids, but with the little ones as well. Because I was the volunteer with the little kids as well, like with the 5-year-olds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was the volunteer with them. He came over. He was, talking to the kids, running drills with them.
Yeah.
So that was something really special. I do appreciate you sitting down, talking with us, taking the time out your day to come talk to a little HBCU called Bowie State University.
Y'all lit, man. Man, y'all lit. Bowie State, man. Y'all lit. I love Bowie State. They always showed me love growing up. We used to go work out. I used to go work out when I was in high school. Go up there, and work out. And I played against Bowie State when hey, Kales, you came to that game actually when we played Bowie State.
Yeah, that was one of the Duke games I came to.
Yep. So
man,
big love to Bowie State. Big love to Bowie State, man.
I want to give a special shout out to my co-host. Go and tell me your name.
Keshawn, man, it's an honor to be with you guys right now, man. Before we end this though, before we cut anything, I know you say you didn't want to give a little insights of what's about to happen, but come on, Quinn, you gotta give us
one
something.
thing. Yeah,
Just one thing. What,
No, I mean, no. I can't give you just contractually. I can't give you. There's a couple things that I contractually I can't speak about. That's gonna be really, 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 really big. But I got my book is coming out. My children's book. I got a children's book coming out. Maybe in the next 2-3 months. We just finished that. I got some docs coming out. My documentary's coming out. We have John Thompson's, the late great John Thompson, coach of Georgetown, one of the best coaches ever. We're doing his doc, and we're also doing a doc on Black excellence in football, especially Black quarterbacks and Black coaches in the NFL. We're doing that. So be on the lookout for those projects I got. But I got some investment stuff going, but I got some big stuff coming in the next year. So y'all see. Well, I have to come back and join y'all.
Oh, yeah, have it set up, do it in person one this time.
Yeah. I'll be home, man. I had to take care of some family stuff here in Atlanta, but for sure. Next time definitely gonna be in person for sure.
I want to do a special thanks to my co-host, Kelvin KT Thomas. Thank you for making this happen. And 2-time NBA champion, 1-time NCAA champion.
Hey, make sure, hey, y'all probably need to hire Kales for this because he was on me. He was on me. He was getting it done. He was getting it done. I wasn't around my phone the past couple of days because my family stuff, but he was on it. Like I was coming back to my phone 3-4 messages and he was on it. So he got it done. Kales, you know how we rocking.
You already know, bro. I knew he was just gonna be humble enough to do it, man. It was just all about getting him to do it. I mean, just getting him on the phone. That's all.
It's a pleasure having y'all. And this is WBSU Bulldog Nation Radio, streaming worldwide from your favorite HBCU, Bowie State University.
There goes. Fashion, killers, loud it, menace, go, get us, never hit us. Home team great, home team straight. Double up, count it up, numbers elevate. Whoa, that's just how we do it. How we do it? Getting to it, that's just how we do it. I tell them, oh, that's just how we do it. How we do it? Getting to it, that's just how we do it. There go. Fashion, killers, loud it, menace, go, get us, never hit us.